When it comes to like starting a song, you gotta kind of like figure out how you're gonna approach the song you're making. Um, for me, it's never really the same how I start a song. Like sometimes I would just get randomly inspired, or I would like watch like a VOD of like a live stream like Lost Lands or whatever, and I would hear a certain song in a set, and I would get inspired, and I would try to kind of make a song almost like copying it, but not really. Like going in that kind of like direction, but it ends up being something completely different every time, for me at least. Another thing I would do is, like, I know a lot of people have like writer's block, me included, all the time. But what I would do, I would just like, like I would just go on Splice, and I would just start scrolling, like mostly I would just go on like effects or like, let's see, these are just rises, so it's not really that inspiring. But like, what if you like, like this for example, where is it? Like this. I remember I heard that and I started like a whole intro with it. It's kind of like, yeah, it's like Godzilla. Yeah, I didn't even realize that sound was called Godzilla, and it actually made me think of like the whole monster verse, I guess. But yeah, like for me, like if I get really uninspired or I have like really hard writer's block, I would literally just go on like Splice and just scroll until I get inspired, I guess. But yeah, I guess in this masterclass, we're mainly going to be focusing on the kind of music that I make. I wouldn't really say it's, I mean, it's definitely like rhythm, I guess, but I wouldn't say it's like rhythm. You know what I mean? It's kind of, I feel like I finally like kind of figured out my own kind of style that I'm going for. Like very like filtered, like vocoded sounds. So yeah, I can actually like I have a couple of sounds. I have a whole library of like sounds I've made from the same like kind of growl. So like all of these. Oh, this is loud enough, but let me turn my volume up actually. Like all of these sounds are from this one growl that I made. See if I can find it. This is actually a sound from my song, forgot the name, Cheesecake. But all I did, like, this is the original sound. But all I did was just kind of stretch it really hard, and it gives you like a bunch of like really cool one-shots. Like this, for example. We could even like kind of make it less long and like, let's switch the BPM up actually to like 135. When it comes to BPM, I feel like 135 has always like fit more with the style I'm trying to go for. Like the 135 for like the music I make is like, it makes like the drums more like impactful. It's like like I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I guess it's, I don't know, I don't even know how to explain it, but like 135 is mainly what I would go for, or 140. 140, I mean, it all depends. Like sometimes it would like, my song would sound like too fast in my ears personally, and I would like turn it down. I never really go under 135 if I'm really making like rhythm. But I've made other genres at like 120, like my song Back and Forth, I think. Yeah, but yeah, mainly I would go 140 or 135. But for this one, I'm gonna want to go 135. So even now we have like I did this just by like kind of like stretching that one growl that I made. Like when it comes to my music, I never like, I've only recently got really into like sound designing again and really trying out new stuff. I actually got a little disclaimer for you guys, like I'm not like a professional musician. Like everything that I know is from me just kind of experimenting with everything in FL Studio. I didn't really have lessons as like, I didn't have like music lessons. Like I can play a little bit of guitar, but I don't know notes, stuff like that. I know a couple of chords on guitar, but like, you know, I'm not that advanced when it comes to actual music knowledge and like electronic music knowledge and stuff like that. Like I can kind of explain the basics. Like if you have like OTT for example, like I know kind of what it does, but I can't really in depth kind of explain to you guys what OTT does. It just makes things loud. That's how I would say it, you know. But what I can teach you is just kind of everything that I have learned over the years by just experimenting. And that's the first tip, is like just experiment, man. Or girl, sorry. But just, yeah, just experiment. That's the one thing that's like really important, is just touch knobs. And like just try, like you can never tell yourself, oh, this is going to sound weird, because you never know. Like 90% of the sounds that I have are just happy accidents, or the flows in my music are just me accidentally touching something, or like, you know, accidentally like doing this, and it like phases with a different sound, and it would sound like really cool together. But yeah, I guess that's that for like me, my knowledge on music, I guess. But yeah, to go back to this sound. Oh, I didn't remove my OTT. On my master, I put OTT on my master. I know a lot of people think that's a little unorthodox, but hey, if it works, it works. That's one tip, man. If it works, it works. That's, I guess, what I live by with my music, is just if it works, it works, and yeah. But yeah, I just remove my limiter. Then I would put an EQ on there, or just any like volume like volume plugin. Like I could use like, oh, that's not it. Like gain, for example. Just anything that can change volume. I've just always used EQ, and it's kind of like a reflex now, so it doesn't really matter as long as you can put the volume, the master volume, up like 2 decibels. You can even put like this up 2 decibels if you want, but it's kind of tricky because I've had moments where I like automate like the master to like kind of have like a stop in the song. Like, I guess with my, like, to go back on like how I make my music is like, I'm a very like simple producer, because my knowledge isn't that high, like I said. So I kind of like, it's almost like problem solving. Like you kind of look in your knowledge to like figure out certain ways of doing certain things. Like I automate with my mixer track. Like I don't use any like third party plugin or any like volume plugin to do my sidechain. But yeah, like to go back to my master, I also put a OTT, and it's always the same. It's always like 50 depth, 45 upward. But I have no idea what upward downward is. I just know it like changes the volume. And I put my volume at like 100 or 1000. Let's see actually what my, I forget sometimes. Yeah, it's just, wait a minute. That's not it. It's this. 50% depth. What the hell, man? Why do I ever save these presets? Like that. Yeah. I'd say like just don't touch these 5 and just depth 50, time 100 or 1000, whatever sounds best. Oh, I need to get 100. There we go. Oh, that's 109. This is so tricky. And up or down to 45. And that's like my master always, is like the OTT, and like don't forget the soft clipper. And that's about it. I mean the unedited soft clipper. I guess on Ableton this is called a saturator. I can't explain how this works on Ableton, but I just know that putting a soft clipper unedited or untouched on the master is the way I do it. Yeah, that's about it for the master. I always do my master before anything else. So like everything after I kind of mix to my master. But yeah, let's go back to the sound. Like the difference is actually kind of extreme. It's like what the OTT does on the master is like it kind of makes everything more like open and like cleaner. Like even the sub. I also put OTT on my sub, which a lot of people for some reason don't like. But hey, like I said, if it works, it works. Like you don't produce. Excuse me. Like, I'd prefer producing with my ears and not my eyes. You know what I mean? Like, just listening to your music is more important than, like, kind of paying attention to all the decibels or the lufs or whatever, you know? I don't bother myself with, like, lufs or LUFs. I don't know how to say it. I don't even know what they do. And a lot of people are always like, yo, lufs, but I don't think it's that necessary. But I'm a big noob, like, you know. But yeah, let's go back to the sound. You already got a little flow going here. There's also a bunch of really cool plugins that you can, like, put on it. I'll put some OTT on this, because why not? It's a lot of high, so I might. Let's see. Frequency shifter is cool. On this particular sound, not that much, but this is a cool thing that you can use. I almost put vocal decks on all my sounds, though. By the way, when it comes to sound design, I wouldn't say I'm that advanced. Like, everything I know from sound design is literally just by touching knobs in certain plugins. But yeah, vocodex is always, or like a vocoder in general, is always a really cool thing to use. I guess the bands here is like, I'd say the way I see this, almost like the amount of vocodex you want on it. Like, the more you do it, the more tail you kind of, like, low end tail you hear. We could even, like, kind of like switch the pitch of this sound. One weird thing though, like, sometimes it would, like, kind of bug out and, like, create this, like, very phased sound, which we don't want. Well, I mean, you can use that though, but it sounds kind of aggressive. We could, like, change this, to be honest. Let's try frequency shifter again. Wait, actually, that's a bit fast. Sounds a bit weird now, but I'm hearing, like, a lot of potential in this sound already. We could maybe try to automate the dry wet of the frequency shifter so it's not as like this. Nah, I actually really like this. What else can we put on here? Format filter, maybe? Oh, that's a bit fucked up. Effector is always cool. That's cool. That's a really dope one. Damn. maybe kind of remove a bit of the highs. There's like 2 layers in this sub. Now there's like the, dude, I'm gonna fucking close BattleNet real quick. Oh, you had like the one, and it's like very, very cool. See, like these are all just like with sound design, I always kind of have like the same like order of like plugins I would put. Like I would start with like an OTT, then right after I would put the vocal decks like I did here. Then maybe try frequency shifter. If that doesn't sound cool, remove it, or like you see, like I left it there and then I put it back, and it actually made the sound cooler. And then I maybe like effects is like the crazy one. It's all just like just like my order of plugins that I just kind of showed here. Then after that, maybe I could put even another vocal deck. And now it almost makes the sound more like choppy. It's like here it's more like more like flowing. But here it's like, that's really cool actually. Like, but it sounds very distorted, so I would like remove some of that harsh mid right there. But it's actually cool if we can like kind of let's remove some of that low. Let's add some sub to this. Like I always have, the way my sub works, it's very simple though. Like I guess my music is like 40% bass, sub, 40% drums, and like 20% just like I guess sounds. But that's only like my like rhythm stuff. Like I like keeping I guess my motto is like less is more in my music, at least. Like people always ask me how I make my sound so like full but also empty at the same time. Honestly, it's just keeping it simple. That's how it is for me. Like I mean, keeping it simple in like the way of structure, not particularly like sound, because I wouldn't say this sound is very simple. I mean, it looks simple now, you know, like with like, I mean, I guess we have like what I'm trying to, I guess a lot of the times it's not really like, I don't know how to explain this. It's more like for example, these like 2 vocal dexes, it's more like creative thinking, and I guess you can't really teach creative thinking, but I can definitely kind of show my creative thinking on like sound design. Like what I don't have in like knowledge, I kind of make up in like I guess creative thinking. But yeah, it's just creative thinking. That's all like it is with like cool sounds like this. I always try to like go for like more of the like the alternative sounds instead of like the big like 1/4 like rhythm flows, you know what I mean? Like typical like yo-y sounds, or like the big, excuse me, like the growls or whatever. But yeah, to go back to the sub, I would remove the oscillators, put this down like 2 decibels, 2 octaves. And I would go like 85% level. Yeah, let's make a track here actually. Oh, oops. Also, I'm not always the cleanest producer, but I can definitely just like kind of rename this and make it like something like a main sound. And then like the sub was on. I forgot what the sub was on. 8. Rename that to like, I don't know, let's make it like blue. Boom. Click that. I put my OTT on my sub first. Like same as the master, just 50% depth, 45% upward and downward. Right here. One really cool thing that I've figured out with the sub, if you put the time at 0%, you get this really cool like gritty layer on your sub, which is very dope. All you do is just put time at 0%. Very cool. Adds a lot of depth and like dynamic to your sound, and a lot of it adds like a background element as well. But we can also now kind of like exaggerate that like gritty layer by putting this one preset I found called mid triggered gate, and it adds like a big like almost like a transient to the sub, but also like makes everything like more gritty. Very nice. Maybe it's a bit loud though. Like that. Oh, I gotta put some. And that's actually it for the sub. But the big thing with my sub is I would just like put the upward pitch to like 24 semitones, and then like automate the pitch wheel, and I would just make it go down every like that, you know, and it like really adds a lot to the flow of the song and like the impact of the sounds. Like this. Get what I mean? If I wouldn't do that, it's also cool, but it doesn't really have like a flow now. I could even kind of make it or even nah, maybe not. Whoa, my scrolling is so fast. But now we could maybe like kind of add a filter and like give that sound like a flow, so it's not as aggressive, like this. Oops. Or we could maybe add like a LFO tool. Here it is. I have this preset. Let's see. really cool. Like that. Maybe kind of. Like putting a lot of variation in your sound in your songs is like keeps the interest of like the listener. That's disgusting. Let's connect this. We could add that mesh expander. Very dope. I'm liking this huge flow. What if you even add like another vocal deck? That might be something cool. That's actually really sick. It even like exaggerates more of the like choppiness that we got initially from the second vocal decks. Boom, boom, boom. What was that? What just happened? Oh, it's the sub, I think. Yep. I'm gonna boost that sound actually. Well, like maybe like 3 decibels. Like the second sound like this. That's better. I'm loving this idea already. Right, let's put this at like 27 seconds. Initial like original like the OG Riddim drop time. What if we put it at 140? Actually, we could like with the second sound we could maybe like try even a different flow. Maybe like a switch. Maybe like a little bit louder still. 4 decibels. I feel like it's still a little empty, this sound, so maybe like well, I think the call and response is already pretty cool, but that second sound is a bit weak. with the Effector in FL Studio, putting the flanger or flanger, I don't know how to say it, but putting it like way at the top gives this like really cool tail to the sound. I should probably save this. That's nasty. I'm gonna save a new version because I want to keep that, but I still want to experiment. That's really sick actually, but it's a little bit too much highs. Let's automate this so it's not with the first sound. Another vocodex maybe? You never know. That's so sick. That's disgusting. Like that's four vocodexes, man. Ugh. Nasty. What if he separate this first sound, make it unique, and make it like a very low pitched sound? Ooh, I like that a lot actually. Nasty, bro. That could be a switch. That's a disgusting sound. Let's make this unique again. Make it the same one. Yep. Still a bit. We could even go crazier, man. I like that sound a lot. We could like maybe oof. Make this unique, maybe keep the pitch up. Yeah. Fucking I'm liking this a lot. I guess that's almost all I can really show you for sound design. Like I hope this really helps with like kind of opening your mind to trying out like new stuff. Like last thing I'm gonna say is like don't keep yourself from trying out weird shit. Just because it's unorthodox doesn't mean it's not gonna work. So yeah, on to the next part. Drums.